When a company decides that people are going to work remotely, there are a host of things to be careful for. It's important to keep an eye on virtual privacy, but also on just actual privacy. Virtually, we want to make sure that we're taking steps like working in a secure computing environment. My law firm has a virtual environment set up so that when I go home to my home computer, I actually log in remotely through a secure connection to a server, and I'm not doing my work on my home computer. I'm actually doing my work in the cloud in the same secure location that I use when I'm sitting in my office. If an employer has a virtual private network or another way to work in a secure environment, that's one of the best things you can do because it keeps sensitive data off of the home machine and it keeps it in the cloud behind the firewall where it's secure. Zoom has been a wild ride. I think the one thing that we can learn from the Zoom experience is not to assume that an online communication is secure just because nothing bad has happened yet. At this point, I know that the industry is working to adapt, and right now on Zoom, if you've got a password protection on that meeting and you're sure that it's not being recorded, that's probably okay. Microsoft Teams and Skype are other options. Those are a little harder to access. There are a few more barriers to entry, but I think they were designed more with security in mind. Zoom was designed to be open and easy, as easy as just walking into a hotel lobby and talking to someone, but it turns out it was just about as private as having a conversation in a hotel lobby. There are definitely concerns there, and making sure that you're taking steps to be in a secure environment is important. Another thing, this is what I tell my own lawyers at the firm. If you're not sure that you have a secure environment to work in, just pick up the phone and make a phone call. Sometimes just an old-fashioned phone call is one of the best ways to do that. That's all the virtual privacy, but then when people are working remotely, you have to remember the just plain old actual privacy as well. Making sure that you've got a secure environment and you can control who's in there to see what you're doing and hear what you're doing is important. Another thing to remember is that anytime someone else in your environment is working remotely, that opens up your environment to those people too. So if I'm on the phone at my house working on a call, I don't just have 4 kids and a wife with me in the house. If my son's taking a drum lesson, then I also basically have the drum instructor in the house. I might have 15 little ballerinas in my house through my daughter's lessons. All of those 15 ballerinas have parents who can probably hear what's going on. So if I'm having a confidential conversation within earshot of another device that's online, I have to be aware that my world is a lot wider than I typically would expect it to be.